Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to week 8 of the Personal Development Accelerator Program. It's been a journey of growth, personally for me, and I'll take us back to the learning pyramid that we talked about in week 1 or 2, that listening alone will only give you 5% retention of what you have learned. And then when you increase it to, when you start writing, let me get it. The learning retention pyramid. So when you listen, you gain 5% of what you have learned. You retain 5% of what you have learned. When you read, you retain 10%. When you listen or watch, you retain 20%. When you demonstrate, 30%. When you have a group discussion, it increases to 50%. When you practice by doing, 75%. When you teach others, 90%. So I can boldly say that in this program, I, Coach Ogo, have gained the most out of it because I've had the privilege of being the one to teach it. So I want to encourage us to find an outlet, find a way to teach. Find a way to teach. Thank you, Dami. Find a way your children can be your congregation. Just find a way to teach, because the more you teach it, the more, you become it, the more you embody it. I'm a better coach today than I was 8 weeks ago when we started. I'm really a better coach today. I have more understanding. I have more, wisdom. I have more insight just by being, the person, putting us through this class. So I want to encourage us, and, just a quick recap of all that we've done. Week 1 was self-awareness. That was week 1. We talked about self-awareness and personal values and belief system. And these are the those foundational areas of personal development, the inside part. And when this inside foundation is not well, established, it affects the structure. You see those buildings, when they finish building it, it's by the side, then before you know it, the government will put a sign on it that they are going to demolish it because the foundation is not laid well. So these are the inner foundation, and personal values, belief systems, self-awareness, self-confidence, self-esteem. It's all part of the internal foundation. Then the growth mindset. We learned about limiting beliefs. The growth mindset. We learned about the growth mindset and the, what is the second one? Versus fixed mindset. Then emotional intelligence, which is also part of self-awareness, and resilience and adaptability. These are internal things that when they are not firm, it tells on the outside. Because if you're not resilient, resilience is not seen outside, it's inside. It's the structure that holds you to be able to get up after life has knocked you down. Being able to adapt when situation and circumstances change is not an outside thing. It's something within you that enables you to be able to shift as well, to be able to adapt to that change. And not just adapt in a negative, but adapt to use that situation to your advantage. It's an inner foundation. And then self-leadership, personal responsibility is also part of it. Self-leadership and personal responsibility, I think it's part of the is part of the action and execution, ability to act and produce results. So that's part of the action and execution. Goal setting and vision board is in action and execution. Then we also talked about executive functioning skills, which is also action and execution. And this was with 5, atomic habits and routine actions and execution. And then thinking skills is also part of action and execution. No. Thinking skill is cognitive and interpersonal skills. This program that we had is categorized in 4 different categories, 3 different categories. Category 1 is the inner foundation and self-mastery. Category 2 is the action and execution. Category 3 is cognitive and interpersonal. So thinking, this is the brain work inside, cognitive and interpersonal skills. Another topic we talked about under it is communication skills and public speaking. Ability to, think up and then, share. That's cognitive. Then leadership and teamwork is part of the cognitive and interpersonal skills. And then finally, the practical and modern skills, financial literacy, the basic financial literacy. And today we are going to be closing it up with the 2 final skills, which is entrepreneurship and digital literacy. I feel like these topics that we've talked about covers a whole range of things. Please take some time out to go back and study. Don't say that this class have closed and then you now, continue. Find a way to go back and listen again, and again, find a group, a small group to teach. Just coming out of a conference. I don't know if you've been listening, the Koinonia, the General Assembly. I've never really been a follower of the Koinonia Global. I know about it, a lot of people talk about it, they don't miss it, but I've never really been a fan. But something drew me to this General Assembly and I started watching from day one. And I'm telling you, I have been tremendously blessed. But I also know that because I sat behind my phone on my computer to watch these programs that blessed me so much that sometimes literally I'll just be screaming because I feel like the messages, they're speaking to me, I was being activated for the next phase of what God has for me. But I also know that just watching is not enough. So right now, I know that it's only 5% of everything that I watch that I've been able to retain, 5%. So it's not left for me to go back. And that's a promise I've made myself, because every single session, there is no one I will say I'm not going to watch, because all of them were so powerful. All of them. There are some programs that you go to, like these multi-day programs that you go to, you say, oh, I didn't really flow with this minister, I'll just keep it, I'll watch. Every single minister and every session, I have already made a promise to myself that I'm going to go back. Thank God that the messages are available on YouTube. I'm going to go back and watch these messages again, take notes, more notes, because I did take notes, but more notes, pray more to take in all of these things for me to have more retention of the things that I have watched and experienced. So I want to encourage us to do the same. So we're going to take the next 30 to 40 minutes and go through the topic for today. And then we can just have a general discussion, question and answer concerning any area, personal development, the program that you're running, if there's anything that you need counsel in, how to start, or any personal question that you want to ask me based on the work that you've seen that we are doing. Like you want to ask questions like, oh, how were you able to achieve these things? How do you think of these things? How do you execute? If you have any of such questions, maybe based on what you want to do, then we'll have that time for that question and answer. And it's going to be off record. So we'll finish our class, we'll turn off the recording, and then we can have that session. I hope that is okay. Okay, okay, great, great. Oh yeah, I can see. All right. So we'll begin with entrepreneurship and digital literacy and responsible online conduct. You know, when we go into this particular one, you'll see that there are so many things that we do not know, or so many things that we overlook or take for granted when it comes to, being in this digital space, because this is the world that we are now in. Growing up, we didn't have phones. The phones that we had, was the one that they plug, those phones that you dial. Sometimes my dad would be going out to just lock it, you put a lock there. But even when you lock it, we have devised a way of tapping the tin to be able to make calls. Once you tap the number of, there's a way to tap it, you can still make calls, So that was what we had. And then our TV, there was even timing for the TV. They don't come up until a certain time. And then once it's 12 o'clock, they will sing the national anthem and just give you the line. What's that line that they call? And then they will pay, everybody will go to bed. But now you have your phone, you have the internet without personal discipline. Like you will just be carrying yourself and be going. So when we get in there, we're going to be learning some things. I don't know. Which one should we start with? Should we begin with digital literacy or entrepreneurship? Because they are both very important. Please answer in the comments. Let me see. Which one should we start with? Either works for you. Okay. Okay. So let's start with either. Let me get my slide. So let's begin with entrepreneurship, because that is a topic that is very dear to my heart. Entrepreneurship is very dear to my heart because I believe that all of us are called to be some kind of entrepreneur, one way or the other. By the time we finish this lesson, we'll really get to know that entrepreneurship is not really what most of us have been thinking it to be. And we can be able to see ourselves as, solution providers, because that's really what entrepreneurship is basically about. So the objective of this lesson, our entrepreneur journey, unlocking potential, is to introduce the fundamental concept of entrepreneurship to both the teachers and the pupils. So with this slide, you can use this slide to teach trainers, adults, or you can use it for young people. To cultivate an entrepreneurial mindset, fostering creativity, problem solving, and resilience, to equip participants with practical tools and frameworks for developing and validating business ideas. to inspire future innovators and leaders to identify opportunities and create value. I want you to mark this word, innovators. When I understood that innovation has nothing to do with you being a genius, it doesn't mean that you're going to be Thomas Edison that invented the light bulb and all. Innovation is simply creating something new, which is what Thomas Edison did, or leveraging on an existing thing and making it better. And that is exactly what I am doing with this PDAC Foundation and this training. Personal development has been here since 1,000 years. Topics on all of these things have been available. What the innovation here is for me to be able to bring the same thing, the same personal development and each of these topics and put it in a way to suit or serve a particular, demographic or a particular age group. That is the innovation here. There is nothing that I'm teaching that is new knowledge, that the knowledge is it came downloaded from heaven. Nothing. Everything I'm teaching here is already available online. It's the way I've packaged it and the way I'm teaching it. That is the innovative way. And that is an entrepreneurial mindset and an entrepreneurial spirit. So looking out and seeing what is already there, but not really working for the people that, it's meant for, and you turning it to be able to suit those people, that's innovation. This handbag I have here is I don't know if you're seeing it, I don't know if my camera is on. This is complete innovation because we all know about Ankara. Ankara has been in existence for a long time. But somebody thought, oh, we can use it to make a bag. And they made this beautiful bag. It's innovation. Creativity is there as well. But it's innovative. So that is what part of the things that entrepreneurship is all about. That's not all what entrepreneurship is all about, but it's part of the thing that it's all about innovating. This transformation center is also a product of innovation. Because if you go in there, there are libraries existing all over the world. But the reason why ours is very different and innovative is because we have taken what is available and we have crafted something for a particular group of children. This is a transformation library. So if you come in here, 80% of our books or 85% of our books are inspirational books. We are just very intentional about what we want to do. So it's allowed. This is to let you know that everybody has the ability to innovate. Now, we'll read our case study. I was planning to read two, but because of time, we'll just read one. This is the story of Daniel's local learning hub. Daniel's local learning hub. Daniel, a 19-year-old student, noticed that many of his young neighbors struggled with homework. He saw kids falling behind, especially after school hours. He also knew that many families couldn't afford expensive tutors. He felt that there was an opportunity to help. You see, first of all, be able to identify the problem. Eyes that see. You know what we pray in morning school? God, eyes that see, ears that hear. It's to be able to see the problems and to provide a solution. So he felt that there was an opportunity to help. So the idea, Daniel loved helping his friends with their homework, and he was good at explaining things. He thought, what if I could create a free after-school learning hub for kids in my neighborhood? He wanted to make learning fun and accessible. Here's the mindset. Daniel's first attempt to get a space for his learning hub was met with some challenges. He asked local community centers, but they were already booked. He did not give up. He reached out to a local church that had a large unused room, and they agreed to let him use it. See the resilient spirit. Now, He realized that just helping with homework wasn't enough. Some kids needed extra help with reading, others with math. He asked some of his friends who were good at different subjects to volunteer as tutors. He also started organizing fun learning activities like science experiments and reading hubs. This is where adaptability came about, because the initial idea that you have, when you start implementing it, you realize that something is missing here. Are you not going to shut down? You have to adapt. What is needed? What is going on? What do the people need? Then you begin to, improve. It's the same thing when we started this center. We realized that it's not really how we thought it, in our minds, like, just put books and people will read. Then there's a training. And then we had to include a lot of games and fun things. And now the computer lab is in here. So we have to keep adapting and innovating based on the need of the people. Daniel needed to find a way to get learning materials. He organized a book drive at his school and asked local businesses to donate supplies. He also used free online resources and created his own worksheets and games. That was problem solving in action. The business or community project. Daniel called his project the Neighborhood Knowledge Crew. He created flyers and posters to advertise his learning hub and use social media to spread the word. He set up a schedule for different subjects and activities. Here is the reward, the result. Kids loved coming to the neighborhood learning or knowledge crew. They were getting better grades and they were having fun learning. Parents were grateful for the free tutoring and the positive impact it had on their children. Daniel's project brought the community together. Older students were mentoring younger ones, and everyone was learning from each other. Daniel gained valuable leadership and organizational skills. Daniel's project showed others that young people can create positive change in their community. Now, here are the key lessons. Number one, identify a need. This is like the foundation of entrepreneurship. Number one, identify a need. For us at PDAC Foundation, when I started my personal development journey, like you all know, I've been sharing this story for a long time. I started learning a lot of things that we're learning here. And I realized that, wow, how come I didn't know these things? Like, how come I didn't know them earlier? So I started looking out to see how I can get resources to start teaching my children. But I couldn't find resources about this then. That was like 7, 8 years ago. On these, subtopics. Yes, we had books, but they were adult books. That was the need that I identified. Children also need personal development. So I decided to fill in that space and start creating resources for young people. So I would read the normal books for adults and then I'll break it down in the way that children will understand. So I identified a need. So that's the heart of entrepreneurship, identifying a need. Then use your skills. He used his tutoring skills to help others. So you would say that I use my ability to break down complex things, my teaching skills, to be able to break down these complex subjects to the way that young people understand. I know that I have that ability. Or maybe I'm just talking. Do I have the ability to break down complex subjects? I need to ask so that I will not think that I'm saying I'm doing something that people do not recognize. But I do know that I have the ability to break down. Like if I teach you something, you will understand it. I know that. So I used my skill. Now, he made it fun. He created engaging activities that made learning enjoyable. That's where creativity also comes in. And anyone can lead. You don't have to be an adult to make a difference. These are the key lessons. You do not have to be an adult to make a difference. So I hope we have learned something from this case study. Let me read another case study. I think we should read two so that we can cover like two different aspects of entrepreneurship, because there are different aspects of it. Okay. Because entrepreneurship is not just about identifying a need, it's also about, providing solution like we learned. Entrepreneurship is also about generating wealth and income, and it's also about creating jobs. We actually mentioned it in this story, but let's assume that this was a non-profit case. So he was not charging the people. But if it was a normal business, case, Daniel would have charged the people money, would have made money from it, and he would have helped his friends, those tutors and mentors, older students that are coming to mentor the other ones. He would have also helped them to be able to make income because they will be paid for the services that they are rendering. So you see, you're providing solution, number one, you're generating income from the services that you're giving, and you're also providing work. These are the core things in entrepreneurship: providing value, generating wealth, providing jobs. These three things are the core foundation of entrepreneurship. So we don't have to, miss any of it. So let's read this story quickly. This is Praise's Book Buddies. Book Buddies app. So Praise, a 15-year-old bookworm, noticed that many of her classmates struggled to find books they enjoyed. She also saw that people spent a lot of time scrolling on their phones, but not reading. She thought, what if there was a fun way to find books and connect with other readers? You see, she identified a problem. In fact, if it's only case study that we read here, and then you just picking out the basic things, that's the best thing that we've done today. So Praise identified the problem. People were no longer reading, and but they had phones and they were scrolling. So she thought, what if there was a fun way to find books and connect with other readers? So using mind mapping, Praise brainstormed ideas. She wrote books in the center and branched out with words like this is mind mapping. I think we've talked about mind mapping in the different types of thinking that we have. So she identified what she wanted to solve. So she wrote books, and then she now spread out different branches: friends, recommendations, challenges, online, the different things that she wants to do. She could use technology to make reading more social. So she came up with the idea for Book Buddies, an app that would, number one, recommend books based on user interest, connect users with other readers to discuss books, offer reading challenges and rewards. Let me stop here and say something. This is one of the power of reading books. One of the power of reading books is that you borrow ideas, you learn ideas. Like you can read a book and an idea will pop up. This is one of the ways that we came about with the PDAC mobile application. How did it come about? We can actually put all our books together in one app where anybody anywhere can be able to, download our app and have access to all of these resources. You don't have to come to the Transformation Center. You don't even have to buy the physical books. Just download the app. You don't even have to download the books from our library because it might occupy so much space in your phone because you have a lot of books. Just download the app. And in that app, You can be able to connect with mentors and coaches. This is how the ideas come. When you read books, you gain ideas. That's why when we do not read, we're not doing anybody. We might say, oh, I don't have the time. I'm talking to myself. I'm not talking to anybody. I'm talking to myself. We think we don't have the time to read, but we are actually robbing ourselves of great ideas that we can implement to create a lot of change. So Praise knew her target audience were teens who liked to read or wanted to read more. So she created a customer persona of Alex, a 60-year-old who loves fantasy novel from struggling, but struggles to find new books. She did primary research by interviewing her friends and classmates about their reading habits. She asked questions like, what kind of books do you like and where do you find new books? She did secondary research by looking at online book review sites and social media groups for readers. She also researched similar reading apps to see what they offered. Now, Praise didn't know how to code. This is the minimum viable product, the MVP, because part of entrepreneurship is also being able to work with a team. There are some skill sets that you don't have, but you have to get it from somewhere. Praise didn't know how to code an app, so she created a simple website that looked like an app. It had a few book recommendations, a forum for discussions, and a simple reading challenge. She showed her website to her friends and asked for feedback. They liked the recommendations and the forum, but found the challenge confusing. She simplified the challenge and added more book categories. So these are just simple things that you do when you're creating a new product. You test your product, you get reviews, and then you go back to your drawing board. We had what's it called? A demo session for the app, for the mobile app a few days ago. And while I was going through it, I said, why is it taking forever for video to load? Why is this one? Why is this one? And then we got back to the drawing board. So, okay, we need to move everything to this particular, space. Or, you have to make the demo. And we're still going to come out with the demo. So when it comes out, please help us to download the app so that you can, give us some feedback and all. Because the more you get those feedback, you go back and you make your product better. So when it finally comes out to the open market, it's a great product that people will love. So she asked a small group of classmates to use her website for a week and to give her feedback. She also created a simple online survey using Google Form to gather more feedback. Some people didn't like the website's design, so she used online tools to improve it. She learned that she needed to focus on making the website user-friendly. So what was the result? Praise's website got positive feedback and people started using it regularly. She learned that there was a real need for an app like Book Buddies. So she used the feedback to create a detailed plan for a real app. She learned valuable skills in market research, idea validation, and website design. Praise found a friend that knew how to code, and they are now working on a real app. This is just so, exciting. So what's the lesson? Find a problem you care about. Praise was passionate about reading, which fueled her idea. What do you care about? What's that problem that you care about? This is just, I love case studies. I don't know about you. I just love case studies because it kind of breaks everything down and makes it simple to apply. Talk to your potential customers. She interviewed her friends, her classmates to understand their needs. Test your ideas early. She created an MVP to get feedback before investing a lot of time and money into that product. So test out your ideas. Don't be afraid to change your plan. She used feedback to improve her website. I remember when Demi sent me, a link to her book that she's writing. I think I gave a few feedback. Oh, this is what I noticed, this is what I noticed. I believe I did. And I'm sure she improved on it before pushing out the product. If not, when you create a product and push it out there without testing it out, people will start putting negative reviews on your product. And then, particularly if you're on Amazon, people will now read the reviews and I'm telling you, I'm also the review. I read reviews before I buy anything on Amazon or download any app. Before I will just go, what are people saying about it? There are some, don't even bother downloading. Oh, I will just leave. I will not even bother. So it's important that we test out our products first before, we can push it out completely. Don't be afraid to change your app, your plan. This is where growth mindset comes in. And you don't need to know everything. You can collaborate with someone that knows. I have no idea how to code an app, but I found someone. Yes, we are paying money, but at least you're getting what you want in return. So let's end the case study here and look at this thing. Everything that we're going to be looking at here, we've already seen a practical demonstration in the case study. Entrepreneurship is the process of creating, developing, and running a new business venture to make profit, often with considerable risk in order to initiate and grow. An entrepreneurial mindset is a specific way of thinking that involves seeing challenges as opportunities, embracing calculated risk, being innovative, resilient, proactive, and spotting problems. That is part of entrepreneurial mindset. Then there are different types of entrepreneurs. There is small business entrepreneurs. You create businesses to support your family, your local communities. These mom and pop shops that you see about, these are entrepreneurs in their own right. Then there is scalable startup entrepreneurs. You aim for large scale growth and often seek venture capital, example, tech startups and all of that. Then there are social entrepreneurs. This is where we fall in. We focus on solving social or environmental problems, example, nonprofits, trade fair organizers, fair trade organizations. Then there are intrapreneurs. People don't talk about these unsung heroes. These are entrepreneurs who work within an existing organization, developing new products or services for their employers. They are very important. So here are some key, fundamental things about entrepreneurship. Number one, identifying problems and opportunities. Look around you. What problem do you or others face daily? That's the question you should ask. Like, reflect on it for a few minutes. What problem do you or others face daily? I have a couple of you here that are online, that are staying abroad. Surely, when you were leaving Nigeria, the shores of Africa to go abroad, like you never envisioned that there was ever going to be a problem. Thought you were going to go and greener pasture, milk, and cold weather, snow, and all of those things until you got in there. I'm sure there are challenges that you have started experiencing. What are those challenges? I had a conversation with someone one day that was telling me she moved to Canada, that she wasn't prepared. Of course, she prepared herself, moving to another country, white, but she didn't even prepare her child. So when the child started talking, asking her, why is everybody different? Why am I different? Why are the children calling me black? Why are they talking about my hair, how my hair is? Like, she realized that this is a huge problem that I did not even prepare. So that's how she started a community where she teaches young people of African descent about their identity, which is a powerful course. And it came out of a problem that she identified. So what problem can you identify where you are? What need are not being met? You know, my pastor will always say, if you come to church and you're always noticing one thing that is not done well, that is the department that you're called to go and solve a problem. Or come to church, you're complaining that the chairs are dirty, or they didn't decorate this altar well, or that these ushers are not standing well. Definitely, you are called to do something about it because you know better. So you're not called to be there and just be complaining and all that. So what trends are emerging? So you find out, where the world is going and then begin to create solutions, for that. What existing products or services could be improved? I talked about entrepreneurship is not just entirely creating brand new products, but taking something that is already in existence and innovating it, making it better, making it more friendlier, making it easier to use. That's innovation, and it's part of entrepreneurship. This power bank here is a product of innovation, because before the power bank came, we would have to plug it directly on electricity. And if you're not close to your to any power, or you forgot your charger, you can't charge your phone. But now, your phone never have to run down. As long as you have a power bank that is well charged, you can carry it everywhere. That's innovation. So entrepreneurship is really about innovation and creating new things. Why entrepreneurship? What are the benefits? So there are benefits. Let's say, before then, let's go to the drive to create, the benefit, the risk, and the reward. You have to take a personal SWOT analysis. SWOT analysis is just taking inventory of your strengths, your weaknesses, your opportunities that you have, and the threats. What are you good at? What unique skills do you possess? Every skill that you have is important. God is so amazing. He made sure that he gave everybody something that you can use to be a blessing to yourself and your world. I'm a very, very good, I'm good with impacting knowledge. That's a skill. And that's what I'm using to create all of these resources and training programs that is transforming the lives of many people. What is that thing that you're good at? What's your strength? What are your weaknesses? What areas do you need to improve? Everybody has their weaknesses. For me, I'm a visionary. I know that I'm a visionary. I am also, I'm an executor, but I am not, I'm an executor, more of a leader. I'm not a technician. So I can create this resource, but it's not my strength to be the one to keep teaching it. Like every day I'm talking about this. No, it's not my thing. That's why we have a recording of this. So that subsequent classes, if I have other things that I'm doing, we'll just watch recording. I don't have to teach it over and over. Or other people can be the ones training. I don't have to be the ones, but I can create the resources. So I've identified my area of strength. I know I'm not called to do everything. Maybe I'm a visionary behind the transformation center, but I'm not the one that's supposed to sit down here every day, morning till night, to run it. It's not my strength. I will get tired. I will get frustrated. So knowing your strengths and your weakness, then focusing on your area of strength, and then finding the people that your weakness is their strength, and delegating to those people And that is strength. What external factors can you leverage on? Like we talked about, can leverage on other human resources and other existing products. Then, what are the threats? What external challenges might hinder you? What if you don't get the right people or you get the people that fail you? And these are things that you have to, deal with as an entrepreneur. Now, here are benefits of entrepreneurship. You have autonomy and independence. You be your own boss. You set your own schedule. Once we finish this training right now, I have another meeting, and then I go back to my house and I'm going to go and lie down on my bed and sleep. So I have time. I won't say, oh, one boss has to hold me down here for the whole day or something. Financial reward. You have potential for high income and wealth creation. Of course, if you're creating quality, services and products and value, people, and you're selling it to more people, you're going to gain more financial rewards. You have the benefit of impact and innovation, creating something new, solving problems, and making a difference. That cannot be quantified in financial need, like it is even so high. Personal fulfillment and satisfaction, that is the highest of all rewards. Then there is also the area of personal growth. You develop new skills, you overcome challenges, you build resilience, you grow. Then there is job creation. You contribute to the economy by creating employment opportunities. Then there are risks to entrepreneurship. We talked about the benefits. Everything that has benefits also has its risks. Financial risk, loss of personal savings or investment. Some people will be telling me, oh my God, oh, I have this investment in stock, I have this investment in land, I have this, but I'm telling you, and I said to one person one day, all my financial investment is in human resources. See this work that we are doing, okay? Right now, I don't have any land anywhere. I don't have any money stacked anywhere or any stock stacked anywhere. All my money is inside this place, inside these people that we are. But I know that is a great investment. I know that is a great investment. I know that it's going to yield. And that is why next year, 2026, I've already tagged next year, is my year of supernatural favor for real estate. Like we're going to buy lands, we're going to build houses. 2026. Maybe we're entering UC. So, because we have sown the seed, we've planted the crops now, and we've been watering it. So it's time for harvest. But back to the lesson, risk for financial risk, loss of personal savings or investment, time commitment. If I tell you, do you know I had to just sleep like for 30 minutes before this class started because my head was just that 30 minutes, a bit 25 minutes sleep that I had. I woke up and I felt, a bit. Most times I have an idea in the middle of the night that will not allow me to sleep. I'll just have to wake up, bring out my phone or my laptop and start writing, typing. Like I don't have a normal schedule like every other person. There is time commitment. When we talk about you having autonomy over your time and independence, it doesn't mean that you'll not be working. It means that autonomy is you have the time to be working 24 hours. It's not that you just relax like that. There is time commitment, long as in putting these curriculums together, working on deadlines. That's a lot of work. I remember when we did the devotional. This one, my head will just reach maximum capacity. Nothing else can come out of it. We will now sleep, wake up, go for coaching, go for counseling. And it's a lot of work. Well, rewarding work, good work. So there's stress, there's uncertainty, dealing with unpredictability and pressure. All of these resources that I'm creating. What if nobody buys them? What if nobody uses them? Because you don't know. You do not know. So we're just living by faith. I've been walking by faith. But we know what we are doing. We know the value of what we are doing. And we are going to keep speaking and keep creating these things. And we know that one day it will take root and begin to spread like wildfire. Then there is failure, the possibility of the business not succeeding. It's possible. There are so many things that we've started in this community that did not work, you know. So then there are rewards beyond money. I've talked about it. That personal fulfillment, money cannot buy it. Like sometimes my account will just be like 7 naira. Like 7 naira. But I will still lie down when I think about the things that we're doing. I'll read one review from a child, how this program impacted them, or one of our coaches. And I'll just be filled with so much joy, so much joy. I'm telling you, I'll give you a very true, true life story. As of yesterday, what I had in my bank balance was my personal bank balance was about 200 and something naira. And I've not been mobile for a while. So I've been doing a lot of Uber, taking children to school, bringing them back. That's a lot of money. Uber now is very expensive in Lagos. So, and I knew I was going to come to this center today and I didn't have the money, but I'd already told the Uber guy because I have the person that comes to carry me and take me. I already told him, please come by 7 o'clock because, my routine every Saturday now, I go for my prayer, I carry my children and go to church. We pray from 7 o'clock to 10 and then we'll come here. I already told him to come and carry me. I didn't have any money, but before I slept, I just say, Sha, I'm not going to worry about it because I know that I'm going to pay for this Uber. I don't care how I'm going to pay for it. And I'm going to buy snack for the children and I'm going to come back with Uber. I just slept. I woke up this morning, I looked at my phone. I had a credit alert of 50,000 naira. I just smiled because I know that God is good. God is faithful. I know that I can never be stranded anywhere. The Bible says that he that sows receives, and he that refreshes others will himself be refreshed. And the Bible says that he that is generous to the poor, or he that lends to the poor, he that gives to the poor, lends to God, and God will repay him. Apart from the fact that we are doing this outreach to underserved children, I know I have people in my community that I'm also helping in one way or the other. So I cannot be disadvantaged. I can never be in a place where I'm stranded. It's not possible. It's not possible. It's not possible. So that's how we just implemented our Uber and, did all our stuff. So, personal satisfaction, seeing your ideas come to life, it's so rewarding. Making a positive difference in the lives of people in the community, and then the continuous learning and personal development that you experience. This is the heart of entrepreneurship. I believe we're going to stop here and have a few discussion before we get on to the next level, the next topic. So I can see we have some people wrote things, questions on the okay. It will yield massively. Yes, yes, yes. Amen. Haha. I don't know why you said amen to now. Either works. Okay. Where am I again? Okay, so let's have a brief discussion on this entrepreneurship. Like, what stood out for you and what are you doing now? Like, from what we have talked about, what problems have you identified that you're already working on? Or what problem are you beginning to identify that you want to have, like, you want to start working on? Please, let's have a discussion on this before we continue. You can unmute, anybody can speak.
Okay. Good afternoon, Coach Ogo.
I cannot hear you. Good afternoon.
Am I audible now?
Yes, yes, yes.
Okay, I just want okay, so recently, right now I do a 9 to 5 or 8 to 5 job. I mean, I do lecturing, I'm also doing consultancies. So, but like the consultancies have been taking a whole lot from me kind of recently. And I'm thinking of next year setting up a knowledge management consultancy firm. So, because that's one of the things I've seen that is missing in my space. I'm a public health physician. So, helping them to transform their the work they are doing into visible resources, materials, articles, that we can showcase globally. So it's just an idea that I have in my mind, and so I was thinking, okay, so what are the skills I need? Um, I guess I will need some basic skills on how to, and then maybe if I can get a role model like a mentor that will guide me through, because I really want to set up my own thing. And then networking is very important. So I know that, of course, I already have some kind of network. But then, so those are my thoughts basically, to set up a knowledge management consultancy firm, and then to also help people. Since I'm also a lecturer, I teach public health in school. I can also help with research works for students in terms of providing guidance, and then maybe setting up a system. Because I really don't think I'll maybe able to cope with the reviewing everybody's scripts and all of that. So I may need to set up a system to be able to, do those analyses, do those reviews and all of that. So that is where I am right now. I'm still trying to conceptualize. That's where I am right now.
It's a very, powerful one, because I'm sure that you've identified it as, something that is lacking in that area that you're in, or in the environment that you're in, for you to want to take that up. So what I would advise is you make a list, like some of these things that you shared here. You just make a list of, the things that you want to, the solution that you want to provide. You talked about helping them put their um, publishing their stuff so that it can be showcased to the global world, consultancy, and just put a list of the things that you want to offer. And then you ask yourself, like, what do I need? You also ask it, what skill sets do I need? So for each of that list, you ask me, where can I get this skill set? In fact, from the top of my head, you should even reach out to Jenny, the content plug. You can do one of her courses on content creation, how to turn ideas and all these kind of things into content, because that's what she does. You can just get that idea, because the truth is, even if you want to set a system for this and you're going to hire people to be there, you have to have the knowledge of it. If not, how would you be able to guide them to excellence? Because you need to know the work, so that when the person is now, there, you can be able, if you feel like the person is not doing it in line with your vision, because just like having a school, you go and employ people that can, teaching methods are different. You have to teach them the method that you want to be used in your school. And if you don't have a method, or you don't know anything about teaching, how will you guide them? So that's why it's important to have at least a basic information concerning these areas that you want to go into, so that even if you're going to hire people to take up those things for you, so that you can be able to, have more time for other things, you should be able to, guide them right. I don't know if I made any sense. Make a list of all of those things. And then that you're a lecturer, doesn't automatically translate to an excellent consultant, or a management consultant, or a coach, or a guide. There are skill sets, there are tools for these things. Before I became a certified coach, because I was calling myself Coach Ogo before then, But then I just knew that let me not just assume that I know. In fact, I had the opportunity to do the coaching. I said, why? By the time I saw the amount, then it was like 500 and something thousand naira. Why should I pay 500 and something thousand? After all, I'm a coach. I just left it. But then it was still being impressed in my heart. If you're going for excellence, you have to find the person that is excelling in that area and learn from them. Just like you said, you also need a mentor. So you have to find someone that you have seen that has excelled in that area to an extent, not very, very high above you. Maybe a few steps that you can reach. Because there are people that you might want to go and reach now, you cannot reach them, you get discouraged. Like a few steps ahead of you, you go and find out what you're doing, what they are doing. Most times, you don't even need to ask any question. You just need to observe. I learned so much by observation than question asking. So much. I will see something, I'm like, wow, I like this. How did they do it? I'll look. If it's an email that was sent, I'll go down to the end of the email to see the platform they used to send the email. I won't go and send the person a message. Hello, how are you? I like your email. I like what you're doing. What platform did you use? That's waste of my time. I'll just go down and see the platform there because most of the time it's there. And once I get the name, I copy the name, I go to Google and paste it, and the information about it will come out. How do you use this? And I don't need to, I learned so much by observation than, question asking. If I need to ask question, I will. But sometimes to have access to some of these people, or they might feel so important that they will not answer you. But God has given us wisdom. So I finally signed up for that coaching course. And at that time, I think it was almost ₦1 million. When I tell you what I thought I knew about coaching, I didn't know anything. There are tools. There are coaching tools that work. Like you put people through step by step by step by step, and they will achieve results at the end of the day. Like, so if you need to take those courses to help you to be able to be an excellent consultant that will be far above your peers in whatever it is that you're doing, then take them. Most times it will require money, but I've also realized that there is no money I've ever spent on personal development courses, trainings that I've not gained back, like plenty. There is no money that I've not gained back. Recently, I attended Wimby's conference, and that Wimby's conference, we paid 280,000, I think. Because I remember when I was paying that money, I was like, well, I paid this money. Last year, it was like 180 or something, 120. Like, why is this so expensive? But I've already made up my mind, I'm going to be there. I paid that money. I'm telling you, the contacts that I made in that conference, the network that I made in that conference, like as in, I would have been robbing myself if I didn't pay that money. I'll be robbing myself. So I've noticed that every single money, I think it's also a belief for me, every single money I've paid for my self-improvement have always yielded more than, abundance back to me. All right. I don't know was this helpful at all, Jenny?
Yes, very helpful. Thank you.
Thank you too. So let's run into the next one. This is like, it's not going to take so much of our time so that we can have some time to have a brief discussion before we go. This is digital literacy and responsible online conduct. These are things that, you assume that everybody knows. You assume that everybody knows until you find yourself, making the same mistakes, or that you're already making, the mistakes, but you don't even know that they are mistakes. So we are going to look at it. This is also a subject that is dear to my heart because we are about to, we not about, we have already kickstarted our digital training program. Right now, we are training the trainers because for us to train people, we have to be trained. So we are training the trainers right now so that we can be able to open our doors next year. So digital literacy, responsible online conduct. The objective of this training, empowering responsible digital citizens to equip teachers and pupils with essential digital literacy skills to foster a deep understanding of online safety and responsible online conduct, to promote ethical behavior, respectful communication, and digital well-being in the digital space, to empower individuals to navigate the online world confidently and responsibly, to cultivate positive digital citizenship and prepare for future digital opportunities. So, case study, let's read a case study here. And this case study is under online safety, just basic digital literacy. This is a case study of Maya's online adventure. Maya is a 16-year-old student who loves social media. You know, we are adults and we are using sense to figure out these things. But these young people, they have to be taught because they are the ones that are really engaging in here into this social media space, like really engaging. They need this guidance. So Maya is a 16-year-old student who loves social media and online gaming. She's always connected to her friends and favorite games through her phone and laptop. But one day, Maya's online world was turned upside down. The problem, Maya received a suspicious email that looked like it was from her bank. The email asked her to click on a link to verify her account information. Maya was in a hurry and didn't think twice before clicking on the link. Suddenly, her laptop started acting strangely, and she received strange messages from her friends saying they had received weird emails from her accounts. Maya quickly realized that she had fallen victim of a phishing scam. She had given away her login information and someone was using it to send spam emails to her friends. Maya was devastated and didn't know what to do. Has any of your accounts been hacked before, WhatsApp or any of this? It can really be devastating. It's a simple thing, but it can be devastating. People will just be sending messages, to you. What's happening? Why are you asking for money? Because that's really what they do. They'll start sending messages to people asking for money or sending inappropriate pictures to people. Like, that's so depraved. Maya's parents helped her take immediate action. They changed her passwords and enabled two-factor authentication on all her accounts. Let me stop here and ask this question. Do you have two-factor authentication on all your accounts? Your WhatsApp, your emails, your social media, and all of these things? That's a question that you need to answer. It will not take you time. You just click on it, go to WhatsApp, go to setting, go to, is it privacy? You click on two-factor authentication. This is where you have to put in your password or put in an email so that, you have to be able, before someone can break into your accounts, they have to break through into those different security layers that you have put in there. It will be easy for access. Do you know many times how I know that people are making attempts on my WhatsApp to hack my WhatsApp? Anytime I open my WhatsApp and I see that they will pop out on my window to put my password. my WhatsApp password through the two-factor authentication, I know that someone has tried. Because if someone tries and fails, when the real person comes, they'll bring it out for you to put the real, So it's important that we do that. Scanned her laptop for more malware and viruses, and she reported the incident to her bank and social media platforms. And she taught Maya how to identify suspicious emails and online scams. When you see some emails, just look at the emails. You can tell whether it's scam or not. They'll tell you, federal government is giving scholarship, I'll be giving free money. You look at the address that they send to you like this. There's nothing authentic about the address. Don't click it, But people still like free things, Sha. So what was the lesson? Maya learned a valuable lesson about online safety and security. She realized that, number one, strong passwords and two-factor authentication can protect your accounts from unauthorized access. Sorry, excuse me, who is there? No. Wow. Which is it? Okay, sorry. Strong passwords and two-factor authentication can protect her from accounts from unauthorized access. Being cautious with links and emails can prevent phishing scams. Keeping softwares and operating systems up to date can protect against malware and viruses. That's like getting antiviruses, updating your softwares when it's time. Then being mindful of online behavior can prevent online harassment and damage of reputation. So the outcome, Maya's experience taught her to be more careful online. She became more vigilant about suspicious emails and links. She started using strong, unique passwords and two-factor authentication. She began to fact-check information online before sharing it. And she became more responsible about her online behavior and reputation. Maya's story shows that online safety and security are crucial in today's digital world, and your mental health too. By being aware of the risk and taking practical steps to protect ourselves, we can stay safe and secure online. Remember, your online presence is a reflection of you. So take control and be responsible. Okay, now, so I'll tell you one experience I had when when I joined Facebook. The first time I joined Facebook, that was many years ago. That's a long time ago. Because I remember that I had a neighbor then growing up, our neighbor growing up, she had her son. And because I grew up with this lady, when I saw the picture of the son, what I saw was, if you know me and you see my children, you can say my children look like me. But then if you know my husband and see my children, you can say, they look like their daddy. So the person that I know is my friend, the mother, and I know the brother. So I said, this your son is your brother. I put the brother's name. I said, this your son is your brother's carbon copy. That was what I wrote to, because that was what I saw with my eyes, the picture that I saw there. My sisters, if you see the response, no, something is paining your eyes. This one is the father. By the time I open my page, I'm like, I just made a comment, a newborn baby. This is the father. You don't even know what you're talking about. As in, I felt harassed. Do you know what I did? I just went and deleted my comments and left all their response. I just went and deleted my comments. And that the bad thing is that even my friend that saw all that attack could not even say a word like, oh wow, whatever. It was after I went and deleted my comment because I was done seeing people's comment, people I don't know commenting. That was when she came to my inbox to say, I hope you're not offended. I said, me, I'm not offended, Joe. But that was an experience and it taught me something. Do you know, since that time, I think that experience really marked me. It's difficult for me to comment on people's pages, except I have to maybe like there's a celebration but no, this kind of chat, people will now come converge and now be talking, chatting. I don't do that. Sharing their opinions. I don't do that. Maybe it's a bad thing, but I don't do that. I can wish anniversary, I can wish birthdays, I can just make one, nice side comment. But to come and start having conversations, see this, putting opinions. That was an experience that I really did not like. So we need to actually be careful how we interact because people can really turn on you. If you read comments like I do, you see that people are mean. People are really mean. Like you might just make an honest comment and the kind of backlash you get from it can give somebody depression and mental health. So we have to be responsible for our mental health and our online space by the things that we put out there. So digital literacy, what is it? Is the ability to use digital technology, communication tools, and networks to locate, evaluate, use, and create information. It's essential for learning, communication, work, and participation in modern society. Common digital platforms, social media, Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, Google, YouTube. There are messaging apps like WhatsApp and some other messaging apps, emails. There are educational websites. Quora is an educational website. What are the names of these educational websites where you can go there and learn? There are so many of them. Coursera, all of those sites. There are gaming platforms. This one, I can't tell you more, but I know my children can because they know about this gaming thing. So there is what they call your digital footprints. I'm sure that you will have seen it playing out even in this couple of weeks, all this drama going on with one person or the other, this Paystack co-founder, they dug out messages that he posted on his a work platform like 2018, 2020, and they're using it now to harass him. And I heard that Paystack be suspended him for a while. So there are digital footprints, even though you go and delete it. I remember a few weeks ago, I read that our president Tinubu, that they were deleting messages from their X file. Some of the messages they were deleting, people had already screenshot them and they were bringing them out in 2025 when he was commenting on Jonathan. Many years ago, Jonathan was president. He should resign. That you're not covering security. Insecurity is everything. You have to. People went to go and bring those pictures. And at the time they posted it this year, according to what they said, the current president had deleted it from his X file. It's no longer there. But there is a digital footprint. Digital footprint. Look at what is going on with this. In fact, I'm going to call it like in marriage courses now. I'm sure they're going to use Senator Ned and Regina as a case study for young people all the things, all the accusations. Oh, she's 27. Oh, no, I'm 23 or 24. And then someone went to go and grab a screenshot that he posted how many years ago when he was congratulating the wife of being in a new decade, confirming that she is in fact the age that she said she is. Like, there is digital footprint. Digital footprint. If you go for major interviews now, even minor interviews, do you know that they will go and look at your social media page to see what you're posting there? Do you know that they have deported some people from foreign countries back to Nigeria because at the port of entry, they looked at their social media pages and they saw some information, saw some posts that they made or comments that they made, or they took their phones, they went through their gallery and saw some pictures and videos. And because of that, they were deported. Digital footprints. The internet never forgets. 20 years into, after the whole thing has happened, somebody can still go out there and dig it out. There's this story about this American celebrity, Kim Kardashian. I remember one time they said that there was a sex tape and it was just everywhere online. And then, filed lawsuits, blah, blah, blah. This was many years ago. Guess what? In 2025, she has 4 children. After 4 children, the first child is almost 14 years or 13 or whatever, or 11. They are still talking about this thing. And tomorrow now, somebody is going to send the link to the child to go and watch the mother when she was. So the internet, they do not forget. We have to be very careful. The things that we put out there, and we need to teach our children. It's so important that we do teach our children because they don't know, they are ignorant. We have these online platforms where we teach children. When you go to the comment section, the things that they'll just be typing, like they think that they are communicating the way they are communicating with other people. They'll just be typing it like that. We've had to teach them, you don't do that, because 20 years later, this thing that you just put out here is not like you just told it somebody and the person forgot. Somebody can go and retrieve it and come and use it against you. We need to teach our children. I saw a video that was circulating one time. Of course, it was an eyesore of a girl that was checking out her private parts, recording. She was actually recording herself. She did not know that just by pressing send, maybe by accident or just by phone, that thing, that singular action will be in existence for almost the rest of her life. So it's very important that we teach our children about digital footprints. Every online activity, every post, every comment, every like, every share, every search contributes to your digital footprint. There are people, when I watch some news and I'll hear that how they caught them, the crime that they did, that they thought that nobody saw them, how they were caught was they collected their laptop and they checked the past history and they saw when they were asking Google, how do you do this? Or how do you get away with this? Like the history was there. Even though they couldn't find like physical evidence, but they used the history to establish the fact that this person did this. And then they now started probing it to find more. This footprint can be public and potentially permanent. Consider the long-term implication of your online action. So think before you click and post. It's very important. There are some things that children do now for fun, but they don't know the potential implication. I think many years ago, I can't remember, but it's been a couple of years ago. My daughter thought it was fun. The sister was batting, and she took my phone to go and snap her when she was batting. I said, this is dangerous. You don't even do that. To her, it's fun. The sister was like, oh, don't do that. And she was laughing. I said, this is danger. You don't do this. You don't. Because that's how they record people naked and then it's online everywhere. I said, you don't do it by accidents, by fun, by anything. So we need to teach our children these things. Because if it gets out there, it is there. So protecting your privacy, you have to handle these ones with care. Your personal information, what information is valuable and should be kept private? Your name, your address, your phone, your number, your school, your phone number, your school, password, and photos. We have to be very careful and also teach our children, because if you leave them, they can type your house address, your phone number, your email, everything, even your bank PIN, and send. So we have to teach them how important it is to protect this vital information. Privacy setting, we have those settings in our phones. Who can see what? Do you want everybody, like even in your WhatsApp, you can set your WhatsApp, to the setting that is only your contacts that can see, what you post. So you can put those settings, they're all available. Even in your social media, you can put private accounts. Nobody will see anything. Before they see anything in your page, they will have to apply and you will approve. So these settings are available. Be mindful of what you share online and who you are sharing it with. It's very important. Then in terms of password, we need to be able to, craft very strong passwords. I believe a very strong password will have uppercase, lowercase, number, and one of these signs or two. And it will be at least 8 digits or 8, numbers. So it's important that you craft one. For me personally, I have like one that I use so that I don't have to forget. Or I save my passwords on Google. So it's easy for me to retrieve. And before you can access that Google, you have to pass through different levels of security that are put in check before you can access, those things. So staying safe online, avoiding digital danger. We've talked about the phishing scams. You have to be wary of suspicious emails. And I'm so happy that, there's a way that AI helps now, like they've been installed into these email platforms like Gmail. There are some emails that will come and it will just send it straight to spam because there are words that they capture that they've seen that these scammers use. So once those words pop up, they will push it to scam. It's only you that will have to go there and say, okay, no, this is not spam, and now bring it out. If you have any, if you go to your bank to request for your bank details and all of those things, it goes straight to spam because when it comes to money, they send it to spam. It's now you that will go there and say, no, this is not spam, and then they'll move it to your, to your inbox. So I'm happy that they have that one too. So, but we have to be really careful. And then there are some kind of information that people will ask for. You have to find, like send your international passport details. What are you doing with it? Except it's a secure platform, that this is, but just someone sending it to you for something, and then asking for such details. What is your BVN? All those kind of information. We should also know that we shouldn't give those things out. So use softwares, download softwares, antiviruses, apps only from official app stores or trusted websites. Avoid clicking on unknown links or downloading files from untrusted sources. Think before you believe. Evaluating online information. This is very important. It's not everything that we see online that we just swallow. There are so many information out there that is false, based on biases, unverified. That's where we bring in our analytical thinking skills. Like, who is the source of this information? It's not if I know that people want to believe things, especially what they call a confirmation bias. You don't like this celebrity, or you don't like this pastor, you don't like this person. Then you read something about it. Just because you don't like the person, you just want to agree. It's a bias. The truth is this information true? Who is the source of it? And all of those things. By the time you go deep, you find out that these things are not true, or even if it's true, I don't know. So reliable versus unreliable sources. You learn to identify the characteristics of credible websites and information. Be aware that not everything you see online is true. And now with the use of AI, when this Yerima situation started, going viral, how he talked with the minister, FCT minister. Do you know, by the next day, I'll be 2 days later, I saw a post. A girl went on AI, took this Yerima's picture and created pictures and said, oh, I don't marry you. Created picture of herself with this Yerima fine boy, hugging and kissing the boy, kneeling down and giving her engagement ring. Like, there's nothing somebody will not see in this website and this internet. It was so real because it was their faces. You can use your face to create anything now. And I'm sure you've seen videos of people that you know. There's one I saw on Sarah Fela Durotoye's page where he said, this is a scam. Someone used his face and was saying audio, advertising a product, endorsing a product, but it's scam. I even saw another one, Pastor Poju, endorsing a product, speaking, talking. It's scam. So we just have to be really careful, with the information that we see out there, particularly the people that we love, people that we trust. Based on their character, we can actually tell that these things are not true. So look for multiple sources, check the About Us section, and be critical of sensational headlines before you jump in. Then the algorithm and filter bubbles. Understand that search results and social media feeds are personalized and may not show all perspectives. So if you click on a particular thing, if they're advertising a particular thing and you click on it, you just notice that you keep seeing similar things pop up, and it's based on the algorithm. They show you the things that they feel that you're interested in. So if you're clicking on a particular news, you'll be surprised. Why is that anytime I open my page, that news, different things about the news, is because they saw that you've opened it. So now they're showing you all of those things. So if you're in error, they'll keep pumping you with that error message concerning that situation, that you just keep believing it. So it's important that you know about algorithms and all of those things. It's just like saying that what you focus on amplifies. So once you start focusing on a particular content, Facebook, Instagram will keep showing you that kind of content. And then because it's showing you those kind of content, different people posting it, you think that is true. But it's not. So responsible online conduct, this is where we are ending. There is the netiquette. The way we have etiquette, we have netiquette. This is treat others online as you would treat them in person, with respect. Be polite and respectful. Oh my goodness, people can be savage online. And some of us are cowards because even in person, they cannot even speak to you. But behind their phones, that's how cowards behave. Now they'll be firing abuses, insulting, saying all kind of things. Please, let's teach our young people not to be those kind of people. Learn to walk away. You don't have to comment on everything you see. Effective communication. Be clear and concise in your online messages. Your tone and emoji, use emojis to convey tone, but be mindful of their context. It's very important. The way you use emoji matters. If you're going to say something, you write something, you can put like a please something like, emojis, because they're emotions. So you might just, maybe you're being direct with somebody, but at the end of the day, you put like please, or it tones it down. So it takes emotional intelligence to be able to do this. You can convey your messages nicely. At the end of the day, you put please, or you put like bending down, or praying, or you put love, or you just say hello. Learn how to use emojis to be able to convey your tone and your message. Remember that online comments and posts can have a real impact on others. Some people have committed suicide because of the things that they read online. Words are powerful, whether written, spoken, whether written or spoken, words are powerful. So let's be very careful and mindful about the words that we speak. I think that we're going to stop here. And with this, we have come to the end of this class. So, any questions? Let's take the remaining 15 minutes or 30 minutes we have to just interact, because this is our last class. Any questions? I've been talking since, so it's time for someone else to talk.